This TikTok just cost Sophie Cunningham $500. And you'd think that would hurt her, right? A fine like that is supposed to punish players, to make them think twice before speaking out. But here's the shocking part, that $500 fine might be the best thing to ever happen to Sophie Cunningham, and the worst thing for the WNBA. Because this isn't the first time it's happened. In fact, the last time the league tried to hit her with a penalty like this, it backfired so spectacularly that she became one of the most talked about players in women's basketball. And this new fine, yeah, it might have just made her even richer and more popular than ever. So how did the WNBA manage to turn a punishment into $1 million payday twice? Let's break it down. A few weeks back, Sophie Cunningham was known as a solid player, tough, dependable, the kind of teammate you want on your side. But she wasn't exactly a headline star. Sure, she had fans, but outside the WNBA community, most people didn't even know her name. That all changed in one fiery moment. It started when Caitlin Clark, the breakout rookie who's been under a microscope all season, got into a heated exchange on the court. J.C. Sheldon, known for being scrappy and competitive, made a play that crossed the line. At least, that's how Sophie saw it. And instead of letting it slide, Sophie stepped in. Hard. She humbled Sheldon, made her eat crow right there on the court, and in the process, got ejected. The league didn't like it. They hit her with a $400 fine almost immediately. But here's where it gets interesting, because this is where most players take the loss, pay the fine, and move on. Not Sophie. That $400 fine set off a chain reaction the WNBA never saw coming. Her name exploded online. People who didn't even watch women's basketball were suddenly talking about her. Clips of the confrontation went viral. Fans who felt the league wasn't protecting players like Caitlin Clark saw Sophie as a hero, an enforcer, someone willing to take the heat to stand up for her teammate. Her jersey sold out within hours. Her TikTok following skyrocketed from 300,000 to over 1 million practically overnight.
I got a big fat ass.
And as that fan base grew, so did her value to brands. All of a sudden, endorsement offers started coming in. In one move, one ejection, one fine, Sophie Cunningham went from solid role player to the face of WNBA toughness. The WNBA thought they were handing out a punishment. Instead, they accidentally handed her $1 million marketing moment, and fans loved it. They weren't just supporting Sophie, they were rallying behind what she represented. They wanted players willing to fight, willing to protect each other, willing to speak up when something didn't feel right. Sophie gave them that, and the league itself created it by trying to shut her down. It's a classic case of a punishment backfiring so hard it rewrote a player's entire career trajectory. By the time the dust settled from that first fine, Sophie Cunningham wasn't just back on the court, she was everywhere. Her following had blown up, her jersey sales were through the roof, and she was doing interviews left and right. But the way Sophie handled herself after that first incident, that's what turned her from a one-time viral clip into an ongoing story. And it all came down to one TikTok. See, officiating in the WNBA has been a touchy subject for years. Fans have complained about inconsistency, players have called it out, and coaches have even been fined for saying what everyone else was thinking. But rarely do players take the fight public the way Sophie did. During one particular game against the Connecticut Sun, Sophie took an elbow straight to the head, no whistle. Later, during a scramble for a loose ball, she got grabbed by the neck, still no call. For any player, that's frustrating, but for someone who already had a reputation as an enforcer, it was gasoline on the fire. So, Sophie did what a lot of people in 2025 do when they feel unheard. She opened TikTok. No long rant, no fancy graphics, just Sophie holding her phone and saying 3 words, stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless. That's it. Simple, blunt, and devastating. Within hours, the clip exploded, 1.3 million views. Thousands of comments flooded in, and they weren't criticizing her, they were backing her up. Finally, someone said it. She's just saying what all of us are thinking. Protect this woman at all costs. In one video, Sophie Cunningham didn't just call out officiating, she tapped into something deeper. Fans were already frustrated with referees, already talking about how bad some of the calls had been this season. Sophie gave them a voice, a face, and a viral moment they could rally behind. Her following exploded again. Brand deals started stacking up because now she wasn't just an athlete, she was a personality. Someone who spoke her mind and didn't care about consequences. And the WNBA, well, they had a choice. They could have ignored it, maybe even tried to quietly address officiating behind the scenes. But instead, they doubled down. The WNBA had one job after that first fine backfired so spectacularly. learn from it, but instead, they doubled down. On July 23rd, the league announced Sophie was being fined again, this time $500, for that viral TikTok calling out the refs. Sophie's response? Pure laughter. She posted, "I got fined $500 for this TikTok. I don't know why this is funny to me. Like, okay, you got it, bud." She wasn't mad. She wasn't apologizing. She was laughing at them because she knew exactly what was about to happen. And just like before fans rallied behind her, people were commenting, "Can I pay this fine for you and prepay another?" And start a GoFundMe, keep these coming. The numbers went crazy again. 700,000 new followers in just 3 days. More brand deals flooding in, and her name dominating social media conversations. Instead of silencing her, the WNBA had just handed Sophie another viral moment and another massive paycheck. By now, it's crystal clear. Fining Sophie Cunningham doesn't punish her. It pays her. After the first fine, she gained over 1 million followers, sold out her jersey, and landed brand deals worth 6 and 7 figures. Now, after the second fine, she added 700,000 more followers in just 3 days and locked in even bigger sponsorships. That means Sophie has paid just $900 total in fines and gained millions in brand value. That's not discipline. That's the best investment return in sports history.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
And fans see it too. They're calling her the enforcer, the one who isn't afraid to speak out while others stay quiet. She's becoming the kind of polarizing star who brings in views, headlines, and attention the league desperately wants. Yet somehow the league is still treating her like a problem. Meanwhile, officiating has been under fire for months. Coaches have been fined for speaking out. Players are calling out refs left and right. And even Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has admitted officiating is a work in progress. So what does the league do? They find the one player calling it out again.
They got to be better. They got to be better.
And in doing so, they prove Sophie's entire point. The WNBA's priorities are backwards. Sophie's reaction says it all. At the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And apparently, getting rich while doing it is just a bonus. She's not backing down. If anything, the fines have only made her voice louder. She's now one of the most recognizable players in women's basketball, not because of flashy stats, but because she refuses to stay silent, and fans love it. Some are even telling her to start her own league with other players. You and Caitlin Clark should quit and form another league. The W folds in 6 months. Whether or not that's realistic doesn't even matter. The fact that people are thinking, it shows how much frustration there is, not just with officiating, but with how the league handles its stars. Every time Sophie gets fined, she wins. Every time she posts a viral TikTok calling out refs, she gains hundreds of thousands of followers. She's become the face of a bigger problem the WNBA can't seem to fix, one they keep proving exists every time they punish her. In total, Sophie Cunningham has paid $900 in fines and turned it into millions in brand value, sold out jerseys, and national fame. What was supposed to punish her ended up building her entire personal brand. And at this point, Sophie doesn't just expect the fines, she welcomes them. Because every time the league comes after her, she walks away with more fans, more followers, and more money. So here's the real question. Did the WNBA just create their next superstar by trying to silence her? And if other players follow her lead, calling out refs, pushing back against bad calls, will the league finally learn its lesson or keep making Sophie Cunningham even richer? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Should more players call out refs like Sophie, or is she playing a dangerous game?